Good evening and welcome back to Vaping Mushrooms Advocacy series of videos. And I was working on the Argus system or Argus line of vape pods. Argus line of vape devices, excuse me. So we stopped at Argus pod and I had to quickly end because it was 30 minutes. And this is the packing. What's in the package? That's the last thing, packing list. Specification, coils, features, right? So in the box, nice box, you have the Argus and you have two pods, one 1.2, 1.7. So you get an idea of what you want. A user manual and a Type-C cable. And that's it for that one, right? Okay, so I'm going to go here, back to the Argus series. And we're going to go down to Argus Air if it's here. Argus Pod SE, G, G2, Argus G, Argus Pod SE. I want to get Argus Pod SE, Argus Z, Argus P1, Argus XT, Argus MT, Argus Pod, Argus GT2, Argus Pro, Argus X, Argus GT, Argus Air. Wait. Oh. Oh. There we are. Look at this pretty one. Okay, this is the Argus Air. It says 25 watts on it. I have the Argus Air right here. Oh, I had turned it off. So click it 5 times, it turns it on. You click it 3 times fast, and you can change the voltage or the watts. This comes with 2 types of tips. One you can change the coil out. The other one has a coil that's already in it. And the difference you can see on the side, one is blue and one is black. The lift section that you fill it in, the blue one is a permanent cartridge or permanent coil. I found that although the one prepared already, ready to go, tastes great the whole time it's alive. Just beautiful. But I find it expensive for me, so I can buy a bunch of these coils and have a couple of these on hand to replace the coils with. So I wanted to get 2 of these. So the Argus Air, you can get the cartridge that you can replace the coils with. Right now, I'm utilizing the ceramic version. There's multiple versions of it, R2, whatever, you know, but C1 is the ceramic. Right now, I'm using C1. From my experience, because I'm vaping mushrooms, the ceramic's my favorite. But the ceramic doesn't last as long. Hear me out. It heats up. Everything's beautiful, but the equipment tells you when it's time to finish it, to go to the next one. Now listen. The reason why the FDA said, listen, we can't have issue. Now, I told you on a previous video how I had these pods run to 20,000, and at 27,000 puffs, one popped. Argus or Vupu told the FDA they won't let us do that. You hear me? I pushed it to the point where it did it. Now, by the time I got there, the device was very hard to use. I got an extra 12,000 or 15,000 puffs out of it by overdoing it. So, but it lasted that long, meaning that in a pinch, you can make it last as long as you can till you get to the money to get to the next ones, is my point. But my other point on it is that it tells you before you get to those extremes that it's time to change it. And that's why I like the ceramic the best, because the flavor is the best until it quits. Well, until you know it should be changed. But doesn't mean that it's the best. It's just my favorite. So 25 watts, 6 ohms, and there's 36 puffs on this one. Mine's at 12 watts, 1.2 ohms, and 1805 puffs. And it has a battery thing on it, like, you know, it's a line, it's a shape of a battery. If you see here, shape of a battery as it gets lower and lower. Okay, so go down. Argus Air, dual pod with internal and external coils. Large and small double airway, maximum 25 watts output. So I can turn this around this way and have one type of smoke. Or turn it this way and have another type of smoke. Because there's air pockets on it. Well, maybe we'll see it on here. Pockets. Should we go explore more? Yes. Let's hit explore more. Argus AirPod. Features. Look at this gorgeous thing. I'm going to do that for you. All right, best of both worlds. You saw that there's camouflage. I am partial to the leather. It looks good in my hand. As I was saying, the Argus pod felt good in your hand because its size to weight ratio is really good. The Argus Air with the air on it, it's larger than this one, and it feels airier. It feels like an Argus Air in comparison to this feeling the Argus Pod. It has that feel. It's bigger, but it feels good bigger because you already know psychologically it's air. So, have you ever wondered if there's a pod that fits all different needs and it can be used more freely, both able to change coils and use convenience, both big cloud and delicate flavor? And believe me, the Mushroom has a series, it terpenes, that is a delicate flavor. It's huge embodiment, but it's delicate. Both button fire and auto inhale. Don't look any further. Argus Air is coming for that. That's what we got. Now, what I wanted to do with the Argus Air is to call it the cigar experience. C''Gar. They play on Agaricon, which is part of my 6 mushroom blend. And get it? Cigar. C''Gar. Agaricon. Cigar. I know. Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? As long as I have the apostrophe here, I think. So it's the Argus Air, but with my fluid in it. I want to present it to my customers who come in to smoke at my vape lounge, a opportunity to buy in and sit down and smoke as a cigar, right? Just bear with me. I hope that works. It sounds good. It looks good on paper, but I wonder if I can make that happen. It's the Argus Air. I can get a bunch of these. I'm wondering how many of these I need to order to make a run. And I hope it goes on to say it, but we can upgrade the software on this by plugging it in. So let's continue. It's got a maximum 25 watts output, a 900 milliamperes for built-in battery, dual pod with internal and external coils, large and small double airway, button pneumatic dual start mode, compatible with PNP series coils. PNP, mine's a PNP ceramic. There's a PNP R, R1, R2. Both aesthetic and tactile. Remember I was telling you about how it feels? So this is a little larger and it feels good. You know what you're feeling, you know which direction you have it in. That's a really good flavor, real good cloud. So Argus has a built-in 900 milliamperes battery, a 0.054 OLED screen, which is on the front, and supports PNP coils, but is only the size of 2 fingers. Despite its small size, it's still one of the most feature-rich devices in pod. Look, 2 fingers. It's nice. I mean, its trigger is here on the face, so I just turn it off before I put it in my pocket, so it doesn't trigger when I'm walking around, right? New color is coming. You got red, white, and blue. Now, can you imagine, not only this, not only leather, I'm partial to leather, but, I mean, you have your choice in color. You know, perhaps I have these on hand, and people coming in, they smoke it, and they leave it, and they go. So they're just buying the experience. Perhaps the cost is $125 for the experience. They leave that behind. Or they can take it. Who knows? Klein blue, claret violet, and silk white, red, white, and blue. Classic black, deep sea, and ash brown. I like that deep sea. That's nice. More fashion for outdoors. The combination of metal and leather promotes the strongest outdoor atmosphere with a unique aesthetic perspective, whether visual or tactile, is exciting. Right? You can feel it. It's really nice. Red and black, desert camouflage, snowland camouflage. Look at that. Just don't drop it here in Nevada. You won't ever see it. You'll be like, where'd it go? Okay, so classic black, carbon fiber, vintage gray, and vintage brown. I have the vintage brown. That's what I have. And I like it. It fits with my style, my look, my feel. Double the fun with 2 pods. Argus Air Kit contains 2 different pods, a standard cartridge for 6 ohms and above PNP coils, and a 0.8 ohm pod cartridge with a built-in coil to meet different cloud and flavor requirements. So I was telling you, here we look and we see that little blue strip? That goes along the side of the whole thing when you pick it up to fill it here. That whole plastic or rubber thing, silicone, is blue. So you know visually which one you're picking up if it's sitting out, right? So the one that they put in is the suggested nicotine contents less than or equal to 50 milligrams. The ones we use the different coils is less than or equal to 35 milligrams, right? But this is Mushroom Vape. So I have to figure out what the best range is for it to utilize. I don't know this yet. I just happen to use these devices as they come. So it's really thick, so I imagine you want to go higher milligrams. So maybe the coil 1.2 or 0.7 ohms. Different directions, different flavors. When using a standard cartridge, try to rotate the atomizer 180 degrees and insert it. Argus Air will bring unparalleled comfort to MTL and RDL. Mouth to lung, then RD lung. What's RD lung? Is that just pull it right in? Does a little spitty like that. So perhaps I have to think about doing that. So I just go to mouth to lung. You know, so I'm talking about Mushroom Vape. Maybe I put the ohms higher. Maybe I use a better coil. Both start modes are convenient. Argus Air supports both button and pneumatic start modes, and either mode will give you plenty of cloud immediately. The Genie AI, thank you. What is that? Right, go here. Think for you. The Argus Air intelligently identifies the coil and matches the power. Not only that, but you find your favorite power. I don't know, I guess there's more written there. Genie AI will restore your exclusive power each time and unplug the cartridge. 25 watts, up to 5 to 25 watt power adjustment to suit your different flavor needs. Just place the ignition key 3 times in a row, you can adjust the power. Full energy for indoor to outdoor, the 900 megahertz battery, milliamperes battery, with 5 volt 1A type C fast charging interface, keeps your Argus Air at all times. Whatever. New level RDL experience. Mesh coil PMP TM1. Suggested 20 to 25 watts. More flavor, less cost. PMP series coil has widely range of models to choose from. We suggest that Argus Air uses coils with resistance values of 0.6 ohms and above to obtain the most comfort suction experience. Okay, half DL, MTL, MTL. PNT R1 and R2 is what I have. I didn't think about trying these M2 and VM4s. Please excuse me. So the specification is 95.3 milliliters, 19.3 thick millimeters, and it's really 1.4 millimeters wide. So it's a nice size. Material, leather and zinc alloy. 3.8 milliliter tips. Now, when I was discussing this with people, I say 3 milliliters, but apparently it's 3.6. So this is a little over 2 packs of cigarettes. So if you heard my earlier versions of videos talking about the Argus Air and I say 3 milliliters, I was wrong. This is like buying 2 packs of cigarettes with extra 2, is it 3.8? So 3.6 is 2 packs of cigarettes, that's 40 cigarettes. So you have 2 milliliters more. 0.09 milliliters is a cigarette. 0.09 is a cigarette. So 2 is 2 cigarettes. So it's 42 cigarettes, basically, when this is full. So as the cigar, it makes a natural leap. Heavy cloud, cigar. Get it? C''GAR is my point. So it's Argus Air. Powerful magnet. Newly upgraded design and manufacturing process effectively prevent oil leakage, more convenient and hygienic use. Well, one of the other aspects of it is, listen, you're applying a heated liquid vapor into your lungs. So what's stopping this from getting contaminated? One of the biggest things when they were undercovering people with issues on the early years of vaping, there were big issues. Popcorn lung, if anybody remembers. What was that, right? So all those crazy things going on, and one of the biggest deals that the FDA was saying was, what about contamination? And they're saying hygienic use. They're saying doing it this way, the way they have it set up, they keep it from getting, ooh, the coil fell out. I don't know where it went. That was not nice. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. Oh, my back. I'm not young anymore, guys. I have to find out where this went. I just put the coil in too, just for today's show. So that was pretty interesting to find out. Don't throw it on the ground, guys. I got the coil. Don't throw it on the ground. So when you put the coil in, here I'll show you. When you put the coil in, you want to align it so that the two stripes, the two cut-in parts, are going this way. And you click it in. It's good to have some toilet paper, tissue on hand. So when you replace the coil, if you look at it, see the amount of liquid that's in here? You want the liquid to go below where the tip of the coil goes into the mouthpiece. Otherwise, it'll get everywhere, like this. See how it got everywhere? Right, I had it full. All right, so I hope I saved myself that. So that's a good thing to know. Don't take it out and throw it. Even though I really didn't throw it. So I have a missing piece. I have issue with holding things. So it's not like average. Everybody's going to happen that tool. On this specific purpose. So I put it right in after I cleaned it up. Now if I didn't wipe it off, it would have told me, hey, there's something wrong. Okay, so that was fun. Okay, here's the packing list. It's standard packing list. You get for the Argus Air, you get the body with the battery and two tips and a coil. One tip has a coil in it, one tip doesn't. 3.8 milliliters, PNT TM1, and a Type-C cable and a user manual. Okay? Now, I feel like a fool for throwing it on the ground and ruining this whole thing. Do I need to start over? Let me see how much time I have. I have 7 minutes to go. What can we do for 7 minutes? IT to Boo-Poo Club, Boo-Poo Retailer Support. Let me see, do I have anything here of interest? Okay, they have marketing cooperation, marketing at boopoo.com for promotion. Listen, if you want to experience Boo-Poo and you want to show people Boo-Poo from you, write their marketing department. They'll probably send you one. If you're going to go online and show people, they'll probably send you one. I wrote them because I have a big list of things to talk to them about. What I wrote to them about, and I guess I could take time to go through that. As I said to them, I said, hey, I vape mushrooms. I would like to get 158 units of these, right? And pre-fill the tip with my juice and send it to 158 people who happen to be, what do they call them? Influencers, to vape online. It'll cost $5,000 or $4,200, $4,200 to get 158 of these. If I went ahead and said, I want to do this too, I would like to present, let's say these cartridges, instead of 15 milliliter bottles, these were these 3.8 milliliter cartridges, right? Now, the math is wrong. I sent them a letter with the math thinking that this is 3 milliliters. 0.8 more than I did the math for. I said 207 or 120. I said 120 of these tips. So 120 tips at 158 people, that's 20,000 tips. That's a lot of tips, a lot of pies. So that's almost a whole milliliter more than what I ascribed the amount to. But generally speaking, a year's worth, here I have to look here so you don't see me. A year's worth, and here's the idea. A year's worth of cigar, right? A year's worth of liquid is 360 milliliters, right? This is 3.8 milliliters. It's really close to 3.6, right? So in 3.6, so there'd be 100 of these, roughly. So 100 of these pre-filled, sent to the consumer. Now, granted, this whole process is so that you don't have to have all of these at one time. You can utilize this multiple times with the coil that can be inserted, right? So I mean, it went from $108,000 for me to do this, right? 100 cartridges times 100 people, 150 people, almost 160. So you do the math. My math was completely wrong. Now that I'm telling you that I noticed that this was 3.8, not 3.0. How embarrassing is that? So anyway, so are they willing to give me $104,000 product to send this to 158 people to smoke my vape, Mushroom Vape? The idea is Mushroom Vape. Now, on the other hand, we could just cut it to losses and just send $5,000 worth of materials with it filled up this, and they, on their own terms, buy in to the cartridges. Right? Now that's 158 people, $104,000. That's a lot of money for them to make based upon my promotional question. Now, I wrote a bunch of pages, 20 pages, I guess, of my idea, and now it's just like all moot because my math is absurdly wrong, and I bet they're thinking this guy's retarded. Can't use retarded today. And that's another thing we're going to talk about later. Not in this one. All right. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day.